In these very difficult times, we are dealing with a crisis that has spread all across the world, which is why I'm going to talk about Dawn of X's issue Hellions that came out last week instead of talking about all the other stuff. So I haven't finished of Pox, and now I'm going straight into Docs. We're not talking about the X-Men issues. I plan to talk about that in a later date. I plan to do finish the Hawks and Pox stuff, but I, with all the comics coming out, I wanted to talk about this issue in particular, the debate issue of the X, the latest add-on to the X Men's Dawn of X initiative by Jonathan Hickman. This time, Hellions, and from the original cover, this is the variant cover featuring Havoc, aka Alex Summers, aka Cyclops' brother. On the original cover that you see right here, it's consisting of Cyclops, Havoc, some other people I don't know, and everyone's flamboyant and parody crazed Mr. Sinister. I don't know who these other characters are. Like I said, I don't really read much of the Marvel comics lately, so I don't really know that many of the X Men universe characters. So, heading into this, I am basically starting with a whole group of characters I had no idea about, so I had to study about that for a little bit. So, we get Nightcrawler's introductory paragraph. It is a folly to create an Eden if one has no use for snakes. San Francisco. 3, 2, 1, engaging. So Wolverine and his team of mutants are currently taking out some human smugglers with weaponry, and Havoc and Nightcrawler are discussing about this, thinking where it's coming from, and now they find, and Havoc states that now we find the idiots who sold military grade weapons to the Hellfire cult, not the Hellfire Trading Company, which is in the Marauder stuff. But yeah, so they're currently looking into all this stuff about the next threat to, well, all of Krakoa. This is a military operation, and they believe that it was part of the anniversary of the Mutant Massacre, aka the Massacre of Genosha, aka the massacre that Grant Morrison caused, apparently, because reasons, and aka the stuff that led to a lot of messed up stuff later down the road, like House of M. So, yeah. Nightcrawler goes ahead and says it's dangerous to assume they're all out to get us, Havoc. Havoc just responds, are you teaching me? Did I stumble into one of your Bible studies? And they get blown up to bits by some of the smugglers attacking them. Nightcrawler is out cold. Havoc is now injured, and the smuggler gang start to beat him down, only to realize they kind of screwed up with a guy who is known to be mentally unstable, and proceeds to take down two of them and is on the verge of killing them until Wolverine stops him, and he is restrained, and he starts screaming and whatnot, and then afterwards, calming down, asks, "Why are you looking at me like that? What did I do?" And we get the first title issue of this. Welcome home. The island nation of Krakoa offers a home and fresh start for all mutants. Easier said than done. The name of the characters are Havoc, Orphan Maker, Nanny, Wild Child, Empath, Scalp Hunter, Mr. Sinister, and Psylocke. There's two versions of her running around. One in the Excalibur stuff as Captain Britain, and the other one in Fallen Angels. Fallen Angels is currently ended right now. The team is right now working on other stuff, and so it only lasted for 6 issues. I'll get to that when I can. So now we're at the Quiet Council in Krakoa with Magneto and all of our favorite mutant guys like Apocalypse, Professor X, Mr. Sinister, trying to remember his name. Like, there's Mystique just groaning, saying, "Just kill me right now." And what was his name? The the guy is now having a rather complex relationship with Mr. Sinister, basically meaning I am half tempted to kill you right now, but you're really that Mr. Sinister is throwing jokes and cracking up, and yeah, he's the star in this. In fact, he was the star in his introduction in Pox, and then he was the star of it in House of X's first council meeting. Sebastian Shaw's there just pondering, and Emma Frost is basically reaching the breaking point with this, with Mr. Sinister and man, what was that guy's name? I've really forgotten. So this is what Mr. Sinister says. Uh, sure, but also if I have to behave, everyone does. Throw them in the pit of exile. Ah, Mr. Sinister has something to say. Can you all tell how shocked I am? Are you you are your whatever getting bigger? You want to go down this road? I will be on your every step of the way. Mr. Sinister's shoulder ornamentation will not be outdone. And Mystique is like, someone kill me. Forgetting for 1 second that she'll just be instantly resurrected. Air Frost gets ahead and gets finally pissed off and wants to get back to the meeting. And she wants to know what to do with all these people. And Empath just says, I don't know why I'm here. I was just having fun. Then it cuts back to what happened. We get all these series of pages going on what's happening, such as Manny, aka Empath, like mind controlling people to like fight and try and kill each other. And then I believe it's the new mutant, two of the new mutants trying to stop it, and then Jetstream is controlled by Empath to basically try and kill those two. Failed miserably, as we know. Then we get more of the documentation pages. So, yeah. They're all in the Xbox. All of them. Part of this exposition dump here and reports and about everything. Then at the Passion of the Nanny and the Orphan Maker, Orphan Maker is right now being restrained by Beast and Angel, who are failing spectacularly on it because Orphan Maker just punched Beasts in the face. Orphan Maker then yells out, I want my nanny! Yeah, Orphan Maker, despite being a gigantic killing machine, is a really big child who's ready to throw a temper tantrum. Yeah, so he beats them down, and then finally Nanny comes in and helps Peter, saying, these globbers say I can't see you anymore. Nonsense. You're my baby boy. Come here. That's right. And better, isn't it? Ed proceeds to sing, much to the confused shockness of Angel and Beast. Then we get to another sector in this called the Healing Gardens, and they're talking about a report going on, and and health and medicines being processed and everything, and yeah, it's revealed that the guy that they're tending to has not been taking his pills. Yeah. Wild Child is now off his meds and tries to kill them, and in fact, she was brought in to do her shield thing to protect them, and Wild Child just continues attacking and whatnot. And then we see okay, so I looked up this guy. He's a Native American, basically, and looks half robotic. So we go to the ghosts that haunt John Greycrow, and he's polishing his weaponry and tinkering it. And one of the humans goes, or mutants, it was hard to tell. So this group of people come up and they say, do you know what day it is, John? It's the day I clean my guns. Same as every day. It's the anniversary of the mutant massacre. We did forget. Romantic. Take him, Morlocks. Those who fall will be reborn. And they were victimized. Storm then yells at him and says, as you attacked a defenseless group of Morlocks, victimizing them yet again. Haven't you caused enough pain? Guess not. This is troubling. We've given the predatory mutants a home in paradise. It is our responsibility to make a place for them. Such is the promise of Krakoa. Yet, I've gotta stop you right there. Do I see someone else in the back? Don't be shy. Let me get my peepers on you. Hey, Alex says. Scott Summers, not knowing about this, is understandably quite pissed about this, but as he yells out, you put my brother in the circle of judgment without telling me? Scott, it's okay. This is the business of the council. He put 3 humans in the hospital, Scott. 2 lost limbs, 1 disfigured for life. What are they talking about? I don't remember. I'm sorry. I think my head might still be messed up. Well, after being killed by Apocalypse and all that, I'm pretty sure... Oh, wait, that was the X-Men movie, Apocalypse, so yeah, that never happened in the comic, but he probably did die multiple times and then was subsequently revived, and then killed again and revived. So they just said, hey, let's make the deaths meaningless in this so we can actually give tension to how will the 5 survive if the 5 die. So Nightcrawler says he was going to kill them. He would have if Logan hadn't stopped him. And Magneto proclaimed, had there been a death, there would be no discussion, no choice but to exile him to the pit. In that case, I would have no choice either. And then Mr. Sinister stands up and de-escalates the situation with his insane, wacky personality. Everyone relax, unclench, please. Eyes over here, I have an idea. Yay! Oh, clean those poppy pants, Scotty. I'm here to save the day. Come on, you're so much prettier when you smile. These aren't predators, these are square pigs straining heroically against round holes. That was a metaphor. You. What will the Council of Krakoa do with our outcasts, our unwanted? Medication, incarceration, those are human solutions. They are sweaty and they are dumb and they are GD boring. I know everyone on the council looks up to me, but I have a confession. I too know the cerebral itch of madness, and I know madness can be put to good use. Even these crazy right here. Cover your eyes, Peter. And Apocalypse is really getting annoyed with this. I mean, like, after all, he did kind of cause Mr. Sinister's creation. I have not grown accustomed to bureaucracy that I'll listen to you prattle on indefinitely. Reach your point before violence comes. These mutants have known only pain and suffering. Except for Havoc, of course. He has no excuse. They know quite only in carnage, peace only in violence, tranquility only in insanity. If that is how they best express their gifts, who are we to stop them? Is not the expression of their mutantdom a birthright? We have not yet codified it in Krakoan law, but we will. Sinister might have a point. Scott objects to this. Sinister, you can't be serious. You have to relax, Alex says, putting a hand on his shoulder. Your objections are heard, Scott, I promise you, but the Quiet Council will decide how to proceed. Now leave us, so we may ponder Sinister's proposal. And Sinister gives his sinister grin. And after a review of the Quiet Council, and yeah. Cyclops is now being talked to by Scott Summers and being told, you familiarize yourself with the breathing? Yes, it's simple enough. Sinister now wields a team of unstable mutants under the guise of therapy. And you need a babysitter. If there's trouble, we know who you'll keep it in check. If there's trouble, we both know what I'll do. Only if the situation requires. Alex, I trust you can go easy on him. As much as I can be trusted, yes. Then we get to the mission briefing. So, let's see. Smile! This is all going to be fun. You've been given the chance to get back to the place, nation that gave you, well, everything. Though work, may you find your purpose. Our work, feels good. Cyclock on board. Tag in. We'll travel to the Essex State Home for the foundlings outside Omaha, Nebraska. Once there, we'll find and destroy the clone farm since they're built underneath. They tell me it's been made redundant by the Five, and to be honest, I've let it go to the dogs. It's a complete teardown at this point. Also, full disclosure, I've gotten to a few notes that's an abomination against nature, decency, and if God exists, him too. Sorry, continue. This isn't a simple demo job. Sinister's marauders, minus our friend John here, have held up inside, refusing all Crotone overturns to come home. These are psychopathic mutant assassins. Be careful. And I guess we're not allowed to call them the Marauders anymore. The overachiever Catherine Pride stole that damn name. No one endangers the mutants unless I declare them hostile and give the order. I'm your leader in the field. Is that understood? Wild Child just growls, and John just goes ahead. What? And yeah, basically asks if this is going to be a problem. And Cyclops just gives her standard glare and says, "I assure you it won't be." Enough of that chit chat. Everyone good? I swore I'd only go back to that offer just to burn it to the ground. Guess that works. Transport leaves in 5. Be great to get away from these trees. Listen very carefully. I think for a second you're using your powers on one of us. At any time, for any reason, I'm going to shoot you between your eyes. Sure, Grandpa. Ha ha. Understood. You're a dirty man, Sinister. Mr. Sinister. Dear God, you scared me. I'm sorry with the little mouth. You just look. What do you want? I know how you love your orphans. Yes, I do. If this is about getting your hands on my Peter, your wrist will be slapped. Hard. Flowery language, flowery and vaguely inappropriate. I assure you, I want nothing to do with your Peter. Oh, this doesn't feel safe at all. Then Wild Child goes ahead and growls again, and Havoc just says, is this normal? I got him. And Wild Child just attacks John, and John beats him down. Cyclops just reassures Alex everything will be alright when she says healing factor, they'll be fine. Havoc just asks, sure. Hey, how'd you get roped into this? No answer. Okay. Get your rowdy ass on the plane. Something on your mind, my lady? The orphanage. You're not telling me something. Of course not. That's what makes it fun, dummy. But trust me that you're all in for a very, very fraught adventure. Super unpleasant. And here you are with no choice but to go. I'll rest assured you haven't forgotten that. Now be it, dear, and walk into hell for me. And then we get to the sex state for Home for the Foundlings, and deep in the Basta pool, we see people being hung upside down, and magical powers or mutant powers or awakening these creatures and them developing faces and mouths because they were sick. And we see this mysterious blue, what looks to be like Mystique, but not really, saying, rest for the back to sleep. Rest for the horror to come. And that ends the first issue of Hellions. And now we get the team, we get all this. And now it's just going to be an absolute insanity. And I really enjoyed this. In fact, the artwork reminded me of Pepe, not Pepe Lara, which artist? Trying to remember which one. It was the Pox's artist, RB. Let's see if I'm correct. RB Silva. Yeah, I think that might be it. I could be horribly wrong. Because there were multiple artists in that final issue. Yeah, but it reminds me of the Pox writer. And like I said, this was a pretty good debut issue for Hellions. And I really love Mr. Sinister. He's just freaking awesome and hilarious. And I don't So I don't know how long this issue is going to be. It could be a long series, it could be a short one. Really, we won't know. But I'm enjoying it for what it is. A lot of crazy. This is like, okay, so if X Force is their CIA, I would guess the Hellions are the Suicide Squad. They're just tasked to go on crazy suicide missions because they're all psychotic psychopaths. They even Krakoa kind of can't stand, but they have to. But yeah, when I was reading this, the artwork is pretty good. Like I said, reminds me of Powers of 10, and I love the character. I love the character interactions going on, and really, I'm just loving this era of the X Men because now there's not really a standard villain like mutant versus mutant. It's more like mutant versus the mutants that are being unreasonable that don't want to join, versus basically humanity in general or any external threat to Krakoa as a nation. And basically, most of the X Men heroes and villains are teamed up into one single unified government. And I'm loving every moment of it. Uh, it's just gonna be a. It's been a hell of a ride so far in the Docs era, and I'm looking forward to X of the Swords of 10, or X or 10 of Swords. But it's going to be a wild ride. I'm looking forward to it. I'm hoping to talk about more of the Dawn of X initiative stuff going on. But I have predicted in my mind that there's going to be a war between Krakoa, Black Panther, and Namor's countries against Krakoa. That would be kind of awesome to see those two work together because they really hate each other, especially in the Jonathan Hickman era. So yeah, those were my thoughts on Hellions issue number 1 of the Dawn of X Initiative era. This was Neo Reality Entertainment. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and donate. Stay tuned for more.